Hi, welcome back to our channel. I'm Steph.
I'm Katie. This is little Theo. We are a married lesbian couple from Vancouver and the creators of Let's See the World. So we've been doing Pride-related content for Pride Month, and for today's video, we are talking about queer dating and offering some of our tips and advice.
So when it comes to this topic, I have a little bit more experience than Katie, so
That's true.
I might be taking the lead here, but with that said, let's get into it. I would say step number one for, any dating situation really, but, especially queer dating, you gotta put yourself out there.
Definitely. If you're in a position where you are looking to meet potential dating partners, you want to have relationships, I think just putting that energy out there, putting yourself in situations where you can meet people, being open to the people that you might meet is so important.
So of course, when it comes to putting yourself out there, something that goes along with it, being in the LGBT community, is safety. So at the end of the day, make sure you're being smart and put your safety first.
So where do you meet people that you want to date? Steph and I were really lucky that we kind of met by chance in real life. And I think for a lot of queer people, the best thing that you can do is put yourself in queer spaces, put yourself in spaces where other queer people might be. So that could either be like a local cafe or a gay bar or community spaces in your town or your city where queer people might go, queer events. And when you're in those spaces, just make sure you're open to who you might meet while you're there.
Obviously, this depends on what you're interested in general, but for me, I met a ton of queer people playing sports. So my hockey league just happened to have a lot of queer women in it, but there are actually sports leagues that are LGBT specific, so there are softball teams, soccer leagues, things like that. If sports are your thing, that's a great place to meet people by joining a queer team. Same thing with other activities, groups, and
Totally,
that sort of thing.
meetups,
So
yeah. Also, if you're looking for queer events and parties, if there's not a queer bar or club where you live, there might still be events that happen, and these don't just happen during Pride season. Lots of times they happen all year round, so you might just need to get on the internet and check it out and see where they're happening.
Something that goes along with meeting new people and putting yourself in new spaces is being open to new friendships.
Definitely.
Sometimes relationships can come from friendships, and sometimes you just meet new people through new friends. So anytime you're in a position to meet new people, make sure you're keeping an open mind with friendship as well as new relationships, because you never know where those friendships are going to take you.
Definitely. Your friend might introduce you to the perfect dating partner, or maybe that friend will turn into the perfect dating partner. I don't think that when we met and started to become friends that we really realized that we were going to end up in a relationship, but had we not both been open to that friendship and open to letting the other person in a little bit, then this never would have happened. Definitely.
Right before I met Katie and was really only meeting people in kind of the sports world, a friend of mine gave me a piece of advice, and honestly, it's the reason we met. She told me that if I wanted to meet someone who was maybe a little less sporty and a little bit more artsy, that I should, join an arts group or photography club or go to some dance classes. And sure enough, I took her up on that advice, and I went to some dance classes, and I met this amazing dance teacher of mine.
I think that's such a great advice and such a good point, that if you're looking for potential partners whose interests align with you, then definitely putting yourself in spaces that are aligned with your hobbies and the things you enjoy doing is such a great way to meet people. We were lucky enough to meet in person without really even trying to, but I think now there are so many more options as well as meeting in person, meeting online. We know so many couples and we have so many friends who have met their partners online, and it's such a great option for queer people.
Obviously, one of the biggest obstacles about meeting someone in person is knowing whether or not they are in the LGBT community. I know for us that was a big hurdle. It was does she, will she, won't she?
Yeah, we
kind of
spent
situation.
a long time kind of dancing around it and playing that game. And had we just known initially, when you meet someone online, you automatically know who they're looking to date, and it just takes all that out of it. I feel like that would make things so simple.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so get on all the apps, and so many of them are really inclusive now, and it's such a great way to meet people. And if you're really just looking for something like direct and easy, I think that's probably the best option.
Along with dating apps, there are also a lot of people that are out there to meet on various social media platforms. So especially if you're open to a long distance relationship, sometimes meeting someone on, Instagram or
YouTube comment section. Yeah, we have tons of friends who have met on social media. There's such a great community online for queer people, and yeah, we know lots of couples who have started dating that way. And like you said, if you're open to long distance and maybe there aren't a lot of queer people or there's not a big queer community where you live, meeting someone online is such a great way of doing it. So yeah, get on social media, be active there, and you never know. So whether it's in person or online, when you start to meet potential dating partners, I think another piece of advice that can be really helpful is to just be clear when you find someone that you're attracted to, that you like them. Like, I know it can be hard to put yourself out there, and it's just one of the scary parts of dating, and getting rejected sucks, and everyone has a bit of a fear of rejection, but you just gotta do it. You just gotta go for it. I did that with Steph, and I kind of put myself out there, and I didn't know it was going to happen, but had I not done that, I mean, who knows? This may have never worked out.
We easily could have been stuck in the friend zone for a really long time.
Definitely.
If you didn't make that move, and I'm so glad you did.
Me too.
Yeah, because I was, again, open to a friendship, not thinking that it would necessarily go anywhere, but it did, and that's because you communicated well.
Yeah, so sometimes you just have to be bold and brave and just communicate what it is that you want. When you find that right person, just go for it.
Part of that communication is also being clear with your intentions. So, letting someone know what your dating style is. Are you interested in monogamy? Are you interested in something more casual? Being upfront about those things can really help right from the beginning of a relationship, because I know that, if you're not on the same page, it can be really tough to try to figure out. And sometimes the best thing to do is just be open and honest about it, because that can honestly be one of the trickiest parts of dating.
Definitely. Yes, so in conclusion, I think our best pieces of advice are to put yourself out there if you're looking to meet new people, put yourself in spaces where you're going to meet them, get online, get on all the apps, and when you meet the right person, just go for it.
Hopefully you found some of those tips helpful. If you have anything to add or any other questions, be sure to leave a comment below.
We will be putting out more Pride content for the rest of this month, videos every Tuesday and Friday, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any, and we'll see you next time.